She vanished without saying a single word. No phone call, no text message, not even a weak excuse. 5 long days passed, and every hour felt heavier than the last. The silence inside the house became unbearable, yet I kept hoping she would finally reach out. Instead, she returned as if nothing had happened. She walked through the front door wearing a relaxed smile, dropped her bag beside the couch, and looked at me like she had only been gone for a quick trip to the store. There was no apology, no guilt, and no explanation. She simply expected life to continue exactly where she had left it. I stayed calm. I didn't yell or ask where she had been. We had spent 4 years together, and I once believed I knew everything about her. I remembered the way she laughed whenever she tripped over her own feet, how she would slide her freezing toes under the blanket just to make me complain, and the tiny scar above her eyebrow that she proudly called her childhood souvenir. Those little memories had convinced me she was my forever. Looking back, I realized the cracks had appeared long before she disappeared. Phone calls suddenly ended whenever I entered the room. She whispered behind closed doors. Strange perfume lingered on her clothes, and every question I asked was answered with another excuse. Deep inside, I knew something was wrong, but I chose love over suspicion. The evening she left, she calmly told me she needed space because her mind felt overwhelmed. I asked if everything was okay. She smiled faintly, nodded, and walked away. The first day, I believed she was staying with family. By the second day, my calls and messages went unanswered. The third day was when fear slowly turned into painful certainty. I couldn't sleep. Every possible explanation raced through my mind until one truth became impossible to ignore. She wasn't missing. She was exactly where she wanted to be. On the third evening, I followed a clue she had accidentally left behind. It led me to a small hotel across town. I watched from my car as she walked inside with another man. They laughed together, held hands, and looked happier than we had looked in months. I didn't confront them. I didn't make a scene. I quietly drove home with the truth burning inside me. Sometimes silence hurts far more than anger. By the fifth day, I stopped begging for answers. I opened our wedding album not because I missed the past, but because I wanted to remember that what we once shared had been real. Then I packed every piece of her life into 2 suitcases. Her clothes, shoes, books, and personal belongings were neatly folded and placed beside the front door. Finally, I opened the small red box where she had kept every love letter I had ever written. I removed them all and left only a single handwritten note. When she returned just after midnight, her confidence disappeared the moment she noticed the luggage. She asked me what was going on. Without saying a word, I handed her the note. Her hands trembled as she opened it. It contained only one sentence: "Don't ask where I've been. Ask yourself what I already know." The color drained from her face. She tried to explain, saying she had been confused and that it meant nothing. I listened quietly before speaking for the first time. I told her I had seen everything with my own eyes. I had watched her choose someone else over the life we built together. Trust, once broken, cannot be repaired by excuses spoken too late. I picked up my keys, walked to the front door, and paused for a moment. "This house is still my home," I said calmly. "My peace is still mine. You gave up your place here the moment you chose to betray us." Then I stepped outside without looking back. She believed she was returning to the same man who would forgive anything. Instead, she came home to packed bags, exposed lies, and a man who had finally remembered his own worth. That was the last night I ever saw her.